Ladies and gentlemen, Argentina beat Venezuela 3-0 in what is Lionel Messi's final home game in Argentina. They played at the Estadio Monumental, which is the biggest stadium in all of South America, if I'm not wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an historic day in the history of this sport because one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, his time is coming to an end. He will soon be retiring, man. But before anything, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just sit down and watch this video of Lionel Messi just to honor what he's done for the sport, to appreciate the kind of player that he is, and to just give him the respect that he deserves.
Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me. I was in it. Oh, I waited right to the end of beginning.
Now, before we get into this video, I'm about to do the unthinkable. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of Ronaldo Real Madrid fans will be like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you wearing the red and blue? Let us just sit down for one video, put our egos aside, put our pride aside, and just embrace the greatest player in the history of this sport, man. I said it. I said it. I know it sounds outrageous, and I know I probably shouldn't say it, but man, I think we just have to admit it. You know, if you look at football on its own, if you look at the sport by itself, ladies and gentlemen, Lionel Messi is the undisputed GOAT. Of course, my personal GOAT is always gonna be Cristiano Ronaldo, bro. I've been supporting him since the last 11 to 10 years, man. Like a decade of supporting him. There's no way I would ever switch up on him. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all agree that Lionel Messi is officially the GOAT of this sport, man. Like if you ever look at his stats for Argentina, oh my days, bro. 193 games, 114 goals, 58 assists, 172 goal contributions for his country alone, 10 hat tricks. You know how mad that is? You know how crazy that statistic is, bro. 114 goals, 58 assists, 172 goal contributions, 10 hat tricks for his country alone, ladies and gentlemen, alone. And then, of course, we have the 2021 and 24 Copa America, the 2022 World Cup, a day that broke a lot of our hearts, but also made a lot of us, just be happy for him. Because, in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, when he won that World Cup, I was in a sense of mixed feelings. I had like extremely mixed feelings because I was like, he won it before Ronaldo, and I never wanted to see that happen. You know, I always want Ronaldo to win. But at the same time, when I saw him lift it, I was like, at least one of the goats get it. And yeah, I was just happy for him after that point. You know, I couldn't be bothered about the rivalry, no nothing, because you know what? He won it. Penalties, no penalties, corruption, no corruption. Bro, put all that aside. It's not his fault. If it even does exist, bro, it's the system's fault. It's not on him. But just gotta appreciate the player for what he is, bro. The 2005 FIFA Under 20 World Cup for Argentina also. 2008 Beijing Olympics, 46 man of the match, ladies and gentlemen. 46 out of 193. I mean, I would expect more, but still, that is a crazy milestone. Six player of the tournament and two top scorers, ladies and gentlemen. This man right here, this man. And as Ronaldo fans, I think we just have to put our pride and ego aside and just accept the fact that this guy is unbelievable, bro. Him as a human being is unbelievable. Him as a footballer is unbelievable. What he's achieved and done for the sport is unprecedented. Just two home games lost in 21 years for Argentina. Every time he's played in the Estadio Monumental, bro. Only twice has he lost in Argentina. Only twice has he lost in that stadium, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. Crazy business, bro. Crazy business, man. Oh my days. Of course, we had Di Maria. You know, people actually overlook Di Maria so much. And like, I remember I was having this discussion with my friends about the 22 World Cup, and I said something like, Messi would never, accomplish as much as he has accomplished internationally without Di Maria. And one of the guys just started flipping out like, it's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Di Maria gets overlooked so much because of how big Messi is. Like people forget the extent to which Di Maria has gone for this country. You know the things that he has done for this country. But ladies and gentlemen, both are legends. Both will always go down as two of the greatest players in the history of this country. Never leave, my friend. You are the best in history. You are the best in history, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I wonder if, 10 years ago, instead of Ronaldo, I chose Messi. Bro, my stocks would have been so high. I mean, not really, because from after 2015, it was pretty dead for him until like 2021. And I also imagine if I started that much earlier, bro, I would be on so many more subscribers than 10 right now. But I love each and every one of you guys, bro. I don't care. I do not care, bro. I love y'all. I got hella respect for you guys. Big up each and every one of you, bro. Big up each and every one of you. But man, legend of the sport, man. And something that I found extremely weird that he did say after the game was this. He is already talking about retirement. He's already talking about moving away from the sport, man. And he said, same as I said before about the World Cup, that I don't think I'll play another because of my age. The most logical thing is that I won't make it. You know how crazy that is? And the thing is, bro, we don't know if he's talking about the 2026 World Cup or the one after, the 2030 World Cup, bro. Because he didn't actually, mention like which one he was referring to. And it's kind of crazy that he said that because he's 38. You know, Ronaldo's 2 years older, and at times I really think that he might retire before Ronaldo. But the thing is, age does not even play a factor in here anymore because he has achieved everything he could with the sport. You know, he's won everything he could have ever wanted to. He has done everything that he could have ever asked for with the sport. You know, he's taken his career to lengths that most of the people who have been born and who will ever be born will never take it, bro. He's achieved everything that he wants to, man. And it's still crazy for me to think about that. You know, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, these names, we're not going to hear of them very soon. Very soon, we're not going to see them anymore around in the sport. You know, they'll be those club icons who, visit random games and then the camera pans to them and, their name comes up, greatest footballer in the history of the sport, greatest Portuguese player in the history of the sport, stuff like that, bro. You know, I still find it crazy that their names are no longer in the Ballon d'Or list. Even though I think Ronaldo deserved to be in the top 20 of this Ballon d'Or, it's whatever, I'm not going to say nothing. To be as humble as he is and to achieve as much as he has, it's unprecedented, bro. It's uncommon. You don't see it every day. Ladies and gentlemen, we just have to admit that this guy is unbelievable, bro. He's alien. He is alien, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what he has done for football, I don't think any football player will ever do again. What him and Ronaldo have done for the sport together and individually, like as individual players and also as rivals, man, we will never see that again, bro. We will never see that again. We all thought, oh, Erling Haaland and Mbappe would be the next. It was not. We all think Desiree Doué, Lamine Yamal might be the next, bro. I don't think it will. And even if it is, bro, I don't think it will ever be as good as them two, man. These guys are the history of this sport, bro. These guys are what made football so iconic in the last decade, 2 decades now, bro. And the time has finally come for them to hang up the boots, for them to retire, and for the next generation to take over. And I will never, never, never find, peace in that. I will never be able to find any peace in that. But also to talk about the game, Lionel Messi scoring 2 goals in his final game in Argentina. One being a tap in and another one a pass in the box, of course. He still moves crazy, bro. He still moves crazy. I'm gonna miss him so much, even though I'm a Ronaldo fan, bro. Just to have his name in the sport, to either talk shit about him, to compare him to Ronaldo, or just in general, just to hear his name on, a newspaper or a news channel or whatever it is, just to have his name be said. I don't know. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss this guy so much, ladies and gentlemen. But that was all for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have been a little ill, and hence the lack of videos. I apologize, but thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like and subscribe. Road to 15 subscribers by the end of the coming week, ladies and gentlemen. I know we can do it. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.